Ahoy there, my name's Beth and this is the story of how I renovated my 1904 Dutch sailing barge. This week we're back on with the jobs with, yes you've guessed it, more battening. Oh, it feels good to be back again. So yeah, let's catch up where we are. I've moved from the main part of the boat, which was full of my junk, and I've moved to the top, the saloon area, and that's a raised area which lives on top of the diesel fuel tank. So that's going to be, I'm going to have to rebuild that, or most of it, or something, or a bit of it, but I'm not sure too yet, because I need to put the water tanks in on the starboard side. So I'm not massively sure what I'm going to do with that just yet, but anyway, it means I can stay there for some time. Are you coming to have a look? Come here. Come on. Okay. Bert's going to come and say hello as well. So yeah, so we're living in the top section there at the moment, and that's quite nice and comfortable, and it's much warmer as well because the small source of heat that I've got actually rises up to the aft of the boat anyway because it's slightly higher. So so that's nice, isn't it? Oh yes, oh it's lovely. Oh, it's very intense love I get from Bertie. So it's really nice, it's nice and warm, it's comfortable. It's still a bit rudimentary, but it's not too bad. But the good thing is it means that all of this rest of the boat I can turn into a workshop. So at some point I might put a dust sheet across if I'm creating more dust. But yeah, I can start to put the internal walls up and that kind of thing. And also the benefit of having a dust sheet means that it'll keep the warmth in as well. So so yeah, today I'm going to start doing the same battening as I did down the starboard side, down the port side. Then I'm going to move my workshop, my workbench, just slightly further down here, and yeah, should be good to go. So should we crack on? Shall we? Okay, we're going to start. So I usually don't do the time-lapse things because I like to show you what I'm doing, but you've seen all of this before, and even if you haven't seen this before, it's in that video so you can see me doing the other side. So so yeah, let's do a time-lapse. Right, well, we've done another few hours. So the battens now go from here all the way into the gunnels and continue all the way up to the bow here. There is a bit more space in here to put another batten, and I think I might do just a very short one, but I might do that later when I see how far we need to go back. So if you remember that this kind of the top of the bulkhead here, there will be another wall coming down, but just set slightly back because the bed actually extends under there a little bit. and then so the sides will be clad, and then there'll be a wall with insulation on the back. So I might actually just leave that cavity in the bow unclad, if you like. I haven't really decided. I might just leave it like that, but yeah, we'll see. So we've got all of these down. So I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to grab a piece of wood and show you. So what I'm going to do now, bet I can hear someone walking around. He likes to greet people as they come. And so we have these battens going down here, and I was talking about putting a little step. It's all right, lovely. It's okay. Did you see somebody? Did you? Oh, he's coming to tell. He's coming to tell me. Are you coming to tell me? Oh, come on. I know, you're a good boy. So yeah, what I might do, what I was talking to you before was that I was going to have these battens running down, and then I was going to have a step coming out, so something a bit like that. Now that's reasonably high, so it's not too bad. But I think it'd be quite nice if it was slightly lower, so maybe this batten here. So as you can see, this will be what the tunnel will look like. So I think that's probably okay. I was kind of wondering whether I should put an extra batten here, so from here to here, and then put it that way. So I guess the alternative is to have a cladding coming down here, then more cladding here, and then a step. But that'll make it quite small, and it'd be quite complicated, I think. So I think it's probably better just to have the cladding coming in like this, and then another piece of cladding like that, and then a step down to here. And I think that will finish that off quite nicely, actually. I think that's probably the best idea. I did, as I mentioned before, actually what I wanted to do was have the side of the hole really smooth into the floor, but I think it'll look quite cool, but I don't think it's that practical. It's much easier to deal with sharper edges, if you like, so, you know, kind of corners. And if I have it smooth anyway, I'm going to have to fit shelves in it and everything, so it's going to be a bit weird. But if I have a nice step running all the way down, then it means I can very easily build things like bookshelves and other shelves and things in, so I think that will work well. And also I'll have a long platform that things can sit on as well. I don't know what I'll have to sit on there, but they could do plants or something, maybe, that kind of thing. So I could keep plants down here, and that'd be nice too. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think it'll be a nice step. It's not going to come out very far, so the step will only come out to here, so about here. So it'll come up and then in there. So that sort of shape. So I think that's next. So what I think I'm going to start to do next is to put the battens the other direction. Now, earlier on I put an extra batten on here just to support this mirror, but you can see this batten here. This is the cross. So if you remember, the original battens come down here, and then the second level of battens come along here, and then the third layer of battens here. So as you can see behind here and behind this piece even, there's insulation. So there's no, when I put the cladding, the plywood on here, there's going to be no way, there's no direct path back to the hull for insulation. So this was a test. I've actually got a spacer in here, but this is a test. And of course, what I'm going to do is put all of the rest of the the third level of battens. So the third level of battens over here, that way. So that's the next job. I'm also going to have to measure up for these battens to see how many I will need. I think what I'll do, I've got 4 more of these battens, so I might start putting them as these uprights here, and do a few of those, and then use up that wood. Then I'm going to go to the wood yard to get the larger battens for across the top, because they need to be much longer. I don't really want to do this in sections. I want this to be done in a single piece. So the third batten will start at this end and go all the way around, and it'll be kind of bent into place. And that'll kind of give that sort of not vaulted, that kind of, you know, the sort of, I don't know, old caravan look, with a nice curve in it. So the boards eventually will go on here, on top of the third layer of battening. So I think that's probably a good point to tidy up and go for a trot with Bert. And yes, I think we'll crack on next time with some more of the kind of battening. But we're doing really well. I've actually had a couple of weeks, as you know, not really doing any jobs on the boat, and that's been quite good, because it's a continual process. It's not like, you know, do loads. I think when you see a TV program, when they, kind of buy a derelict boat or a farmhouse or something, and they like really, really work on it hard for like a couple of months, and then suddenly it's ready. It's impossible for me to do that, because I just don't have the kind of capacity to do that. I would burn out really quickly. So the important thing is just to keep chipping away, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But I have had a little bit of a break, which is good for the soul, and also good for the waistline, because I'm starting to be a bit more healthy about my lifestyle. So that's good too. So yeah, I think that's all of the rambling that I need to do for this week. So yeah, good work. So it feels good to be doing some more jobs on the boat again. It seems like such a big project, because it is a big project, I suppose. And it's easy to get overwhelmed by it, but it's a couple of Canadaggies. It's easy to get overwhelmed by it, but as I've mentioned a few times, I'm trying not to. Just trying to keep on chipping away and enjoy it as much as I can. So I'll keep on doing that as much as possible. But still, I kind of now and again have this vision of what it'll look like in the future, and it still feels really good, and I'm excited to get to that point. But we've got lots to do before we get to that point, and thank you for sticking with me through that journey. So yeah, I would like to say thank you. I'm gonna have to get my phone out, and so I'd like to say thank you to Miles, to Darren, to Anonymous Person, although I know who you are, and to Jenna, who have all bought me coffee, with the link down below. As I've always said, it's hugely generous. So every time a little notification pops in, yeah, I'm really kind of overwhelmed with your generosity. But I'm so glad you're with me, so glad you're watching, and I hope you're safe and well. So we'll leave it there for this week. Next week we'll do a bit more battening, and so until then, stay safe, and I'll see you then.